Man, oh man. This is not good. That's a dead Placo in the back too. Gotta do something about this. Man. Wow. Okay, folks. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4 dead Synodontis catfish. I honestly don't know what happened. I mean, my biggest one, I think is still alive. I don't know if it's hanging on to the back or is it actually dead, stuck to the intake. But I could definitely say the ornates or the Polyptera senegalis regular Bashirs got to him, because I know they're known for sucking off a slime coat. This one actually kind of has some raw spots on him where it looks like he's endured some things. So I don't know, was that due to the Synodontis doing that, or did he like speed by and brush up against a hard surface and scratch himself? But I don't think a single Synodontis is alive right now. Well, no, I still see one. But if they're agitating these ornates, I know they're the more aggressive of Bashirs. So I want to say they might be the culprits or the reasons that every Synodontis is dead in here. I gotta drain this thing down, take some bodies out. It's crazy because just a little while ago, I was actually struggling keeping this thing clear. That's why I have this hang on back filter on here right now, but apparently it didn't do anything for it. I cleaned out the canister, gravel back the thing. I actually try to do that at least once a week, and this water is still cloudy. So that's something I'm battling with. I don't know, is it the blackbeard algae and is this keeping a lot of debris underneath everything and that's what's causing the whole water quality, or what? But yeah, I'm about to tackle this. Go ahead this way. I'll show you guys how things have been going with my tanks in the office. I just recently set up a plant tank. I probably need to turn the CO2 down. I didn't turn it off last night. I actually learned that you should turn your CO2 off when the lights are off, because the plants aren't taking in anything when the lights are off. So yeah, I'm about to go ahead and turn this off. Even though this tank turns off at, lights go off at midnight, but I won't be here to turn this thing off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it now and just let them soak up everything that is in the water, because it looks full. There are a bunch of micro bubbles on the surface that you can see. Over here, I finally kind of spreaded out the Rotala indica in this tank. So it looks, I would say, a little bit better. The fish, they kind of have a better or more of an area to cover in the background, but of course everyone still likes going over in the right corner because that's where it originated and it's tallest there. It's got to get used to hiding in other places. As far as these tanks, they are what they are. They're quarantine tanks / holding tanks. There's a betta in here, there's a betta in there, a half moon king in there, and I want to say a delta fin in there. I drained this 7.5 cube out because it wouldn't sustain life. The only thing that remained alive in here was the black ghost knife, and I actually took him out and took him home. And here is another quarantine tank that used to be, you know, thriving or holding all my cories and guppies and whatnot, but eventually it just turned into nothing. Like the plants wouldn't even stay alive in there. So yeah. Other than that, I'm really just gonna clean out the tank up front, and I'm going to plant a few more plants in this tank over here, and that'll be that. So let's get to it. really hate about doing anything tank related for people is that I've had clients ask me to come in and do stuff. I started doing stuff, and it's like, well, no, I like it this way, and well, I always do it like this. Well, that's the reason you've always got the results that you've had. And if you don't let me come in here and do what I do, it won't be how you expect it to be. Or like how some people say, oh, you know, when I clean the tank out, we drain it all the way out, we take the rocks out and rinse them off, and we take the filter out and we rinse it out. Ecosystem. Exactly, you're
like
disturbing
the natural ecosystem.
Right, you're resetting the beneficial bacteria pretty much. Like you're not giving it a chance at all to do what it needs to do. Like, granted, you want to take out some water, you want to do this and that, but you don't want to get the thing back down to the ground zero.
Right.
Damn. Yeah, I tried to take out a section, but that didn't work. So this is the latest and greatest configuration in the basement, or I should say the new fish lab in my basement type thing. So starting from left to right, we have like my 2.5, my old better bowl. I think it's like a 3.5 cube. I got all this junk on the floor. Try not to mind the mess, guys. I think this is really unique for the simple fact that, I mean, it's crystal clear right now. I haven't done anything to it other than try to waterlog this piece of driftwood that is really crazy. That actually is really neat floating, but I don't think a fish would just want to be in there with that. And one of these slanted bowls and another, actually the first slanted bowl that I ever designed, and it's just right here getting some light and whatnot. Got a little bit of Java moss growing on the side of it, and Rotala indica and wisteria in the back. I think I just disturbed something. My air pump's making a different noise. I had this thing rigged up here for now. Okay. That's a little bit better. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's a mess. I literally just did this. You can see that horrible entanglement. I'm actually meant to go back and straighten everything out, but I mean, hey, the lines are ran. Organization, as far as on the back side, I will get around to that. As you guys can see, there's just stuff everywhere. Even for me, I just recently planted these bunches of Rotala indica. These actually came out of my sister's Betta cube in her office. This bunch, that bunch, and there's like a whole nother wad around here somewhere that I had in one of these buckets, I think. Oh yeah, matter of fact, it's right in there. Yeah, it's like a whole nother wad that'll like fill your hand. That it just grew in that amount of time under a 40-watt light bulb, which is crazy. Well, yeah, so if you're wondering why these tanks are even empty, it's so I can start separating these guys. I got a bunch of guppies from my buddy Emmanuel, and he hooked me up. Yeah, these guppies are everywhere though. I will eventually start separating or culling the boys from the girls. You see, I got my little hang-on bucket basket thingy, and this will be the boys' tank, this will be the girls' tank. As soon as I can, you know, start separating. Starting from right to left, this is a quarantine tank. This is the last standing Synodontis catfish from the office, guys. I want to say that Ornate, Bashir, or both of them jacked everybody up, like to the point where they died. I know these Synodontis though, they like to hassle those guys for their slime coat. And knowing those type of Bashirs, they're very aggressive. So, hey, that was probably retaliation. Lucky you're the survivor. You saw everything. Going over, I got my remaining Pristella Tetras. These guys were in the 40-gallon that I actually turned into my new plant tank, simply because they were starting to die off, and I realized that other fish were starting to die off as well, slowly over time, not all at once, but they would just start falling off, and I've never had a problem out of these fish whatsoever. So I had to move them back home. I don't know what it is, but these fish, they love well water. Once they get a taste of well water, they don't go to anything else. I even lost one cardinal tetra. This tank is empty, but you know, it's just up and going. These are black skirt tetras that I also got from Emmanuel. They're just hanging out right now. 4 of them. And there are also some bumblebee catfish in there. I don't know if you can see that one guy. He's like all the way in the back up underneath the heater. I'm surprised he's not burning himself, but hey, whatever floats his boat. And an empty tank. But yeah, guys, oh, sorry, floating around, I got all this junk, like buckets, empty tanks, old tanks. It's a big old blow up shark right here. The old 29 that was originally at my sister's house and it went to my brother's house. Now it's back at my house, holding all these hang-on backs because I had to get away from using hang-on backs. I'm still using heaters inside of each tank, but as far as the hang-on backs, I had to stop doing that. It just wasn't cutting it out for me. You can see I'm utilizing every single outlet on this thing. Like, these are my lights, like up there and all of that. I will put the link in the description box for these lights. I got them off Amazon. I got them like, I think I got a box of like a dozen for like 112 bucks or something like that. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'll double check. Like I said, I'll put the description box in I will put the link in the description box below. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with these tanks yet. I might make or dedicate like 2 or 3 of them, half of them to shrimp tanks and the other ones just, you know, special fish holding or breeding tanks for like the smaller nano species of fish. In the meantime, they're cycling. I got to get this wire hung up so it's not in the way. I know you guys are like, what the heck, man? But you know, I just had to work around it. I had to do all of this stuff around it. I did this in like 5 minutes. Getting back over here, this tank is a 55-gallon cold water goldfish tank. I hope my viewers know that goldfish require and like cold water. Like, this tank is, I wouldn't say ice cold, but it's cold to the touch. It doesn't feel like their tank. There's a dojo loach in here too, a golden dojo loach. He's sitting here chilling. You guys see I gotta scrub this tank out. Really haven't did much to it other than feed these guys and change the water like one time, but I will give it to these goldfish. They do turn over the sand. They're digging and constantly looking for food. So they tend to turn the sand over and over to the point where, you know, they're clouding the water, which is cool because that means everything's getting cycled. And I kind of appreciate it. So, you know, they're fine, they're healthy. The water's a little cloudy, but they're good, I promise. And right here, we have our blood parrot cichlids. These guys, this one right here is my little friend because every time I have to do something to this tank, where I attempted to put plants in it the other day, and it gave me the hardest time of my life. If you want to know what I'm talking about, watch this. That's wild. Oh. 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 But anyway, I have my Delhaize or Delhaize. I don't know how you guys say it or would pronounce it, but there's that Bashir in there right now, along with 2 ornates, a jewel turquoise cichlid, 3 banjo catfish. Oh wow, all of them are right there too. I don't know if you guys can see, like 1, 2, and 3. This one's kind of buried right there. But yeah, there's my ornate, and not ornate, I'm sorry, regular marble Bashirs. I have so many fish, guys, and I'm starting to like screw these names up really, really badly. Not as many fish as I used to have, but you know, so many come across my mind that I might just call out the wrong one the first time. But forgive me, I will correct myself. Yeah, I want to say these guys laid some eggs at one point because this crater, that crater, and that crater right there in the back was not here. So I know for a fact something is going on. Oh, snap. I just remembered. Where is, oh, there he is. So if you guys remember, I still do have my black ghost knife. He hangs out right here near, behind the intake. Danny Phantom just hiding, and I'm being bombarded. Hello. But yeah, folks, so this is what I have going on. I haven't spent that much time down here, but like I said, I cut out some polycarbonate lids. I still need to do the same for these 10 gallons. Luckily, the bubbles, or I would say the air pressure, aren't popping or bursting that quickly or that high, so I don't have to worry about water spraying all over everywhere right now. However, I would like to keep evaporation down, so I still need to get back on that because I still need to cut out 9 3/4 by, I don't know why I'm trying to call out measurements. I still need to cut lids for these 10 gallons, but it worked out for everything else that I'm doing. Okay, so the hood of this tank is off right now. I'm actually about to do some more planting. As far as making this tank nicer goes, I need to remove this bunch right here and move that over behind, I forgot what this is called. And I'm going to put the shorter red plants right underneath this intake. And I also plan on taking both of these intakes off and putting a canister filter on this tank as soon as possible. I'm trying to get away from hang-on bags, guys. I really, really am. I'm really impressed with this tank though. It's clear. I lost some neon tetras in transport. You know, I kind of stressed them out. They are very, very, very easy fish to stress out and kill, guys. So be careful when transporting neon tetras. I just really, really plan on making this tank nicer, and if I see results with the plant tank at the office, I will put a CO2 injector on this tank as well, or CO2 diffuser, whatever you call those things. Yeah, look at this Siamese algae eater. Oh, he spots me. He is nice. There's my gourami blue. And then on the other hand, I wish I could say the same for this tank. It's like, I enjoy it, but at the same time, I needed to do so much to it. I dropped some assassin snails off in there because it's been overrun with snails. This, the Java fern, it's come to nothing now. It's horrible. There's a bunch of algae. I kind of want to put some ghost shrimp in there, so I got to change the filter method on this tank. The Styphonine gobies, I don't know, guys. They're looking a little thin to me, honestly. They're alive, but it's like they're slimming out, and I'm kind of concerned. Well, one of them is compared to the other, so that has me a little bothered. I don't know, am I having like some type of deficiency in my tank? There's a few pygmy cories. I know you can hardly see him. He's moving along in the back, and there he goes. There once was a big old wad of Java moss on this branch right here where it is now. I had to remove that. I was trying to cut it and displace a little bit of it, but it didn't work out for me. I just pulled the whole thing, and I honestly need to trim or pull this big old bush off this piece of dragonstone that's right here. And the same happened to that piece in the back. It's like, oh my goodness. I want to plant some more red plants in place of the Java fern. So I'm gonna take care of that too.